because there's a lot of moving parts. Let's demystify this, guys. Let's break it down into a nice juicy bit so that you can be awesome with your sword and buckler. Now, we're gonna do this quick little drill with just our hands at the beginning, because if you cannot do it with your hands, you will not be able to do it with your weapon set. Okay, so this is my buckler hand, this is my sword hand. So my buckler hand, I want to occupy the center, right? So it's about here. Now, sword hand, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut under my buckler. So as I cut under my buckler like this, I want to rotate my wrist here like this. Now, when I'm still cutting under from this position, right? So I look like this. What I'm going to do is my elbow, I'm bending at the elbow from here, see? And that does all the work for me. And so I can cut like this. That's the secret sauce, guys. That's the magic right there. So I'm cutting under, turning my wrist, I'm moving at the elbow, and I'm cutting like so, right? Cut, 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 cut. Notice how I'm feathering forward and backward, and I'm making that work like pistons in an engine. Don't worry about that at first, but just know that that's what you do as you go along. Okay, cool. So that's the first part. So get really familiar with that. Don't rush it, guys. I want you to practice that with just your hands so that you really understand the parts and pieces that need to move, because it's mechanics. It's not magic, right? It's the mechanics. All right. So under. Now let's go over. So I'm here like this. I'm going to drop. I'm going to keep center. I'm going to drop ever so slightly so that when I extend out my arm, now when you're cutting over your buckler, what's happening is you're lowering your guard with your buckler and you're extending out. So your hand has to go higher, your sword hand has to go higher, and your buckler hand has to go slightly lower. So to make that easier, you want to extend out even more. Okay. So when you're lowering, you're uncovering your head, but you're on the super attack, right? You're really coming out there. So I'm lowering this, I'm cutting out like this, and then I'm rotating at the shoulder up here, right? So by the time I complete this cut and I'm coming back around, looky, looky, my buckler is taking center, and it's a really awesome defense. So cut, boom, here I am like so, right? So cut, here I am, right? Cut, there I am. It also helps your shoulder. See how I did that with my shoulder? I switch spots with my shoulder. I lower this down and I switch spots with my shoulders. And that rotation happens here as well as here. So you got to get used to that. So cut, now I'm here. So when my elbow's out like this during the transition, boom, this is here like this. Now when I cut, same thing, I'm switching, boom, like this, cutting, and now I'm back here. Okay, so cut, cut. Cut, 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 cut. Let's try it with the weapons. Okay, here we go. So first, under, right? So I'm going to cut under. Go like this, and now under again, right? I want to say over, but it's not right. So I'm cutting under. Notice my elbow is coming up like this to cut. Now you can see that feathering forward and backwards is really important. Okay, so when I'm cutting like this, I'm holding center, but I'm holding it back as I cut. Now it comes to prominence a little bit. Now I'm here like so, right here with my sword. Now I'm using my elbow to bring it forward. As I bring this forward, this comes back to give myself some room to cut. Now you can also use your wrist to use your I want to say deflect, right? The deflector profile, right? That sounds Star Wars-y, doesn't it? Deflector profile so that you could cut. If you want to lift it up a little bit to give yourself room, hey, that's great. So just work on it nice and slow. If you can't do it slow, you can't do it fast, right? Cut, 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 cut. See, I'm just working, this is all under. I'm working under the buckler, and I'm keeping this buckler center, right? Keeping it center. Right? See that? This is going to be a long form video. When I say long form, probably 5 minutes or more. All right, okay, so Now we're going to cut over the shield. Excuse me. So here I am like this position. So cutting over, and I'm moving this here. See how I did that? I'm going to do it again. Cutting over. Now this takes spot here, covering my elbow and my center. Now I'm here in this position. Cut. Right? Cut. That's the hardest one. Cut. Right? So cut, 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 cut. Okay, guys, we broke down a lot of stuff. Hopefully this works great for you. Oh, one other thing. You could actually use any of these in a dual drill, right? So the idea would being that as you extend out your buckler, that's the target. So as I'm coming in for a cut like this, say I'm going under my buckler first, I'm actually going to hit their buckler. Excuse me. So their buckler is going to be out. My partner's buckler is going to be out. I'm going to strike the target. Cling! It's going to make a lovely noise. And then I'm going to come around like this. And then they're going to hit my buckler with their cut. So cut, out, cut, out. And it's in time, right? The drill is in time. We're not winning practice. And the whole idea is we're getting used to placing our buckler and our strikes where they need to go. We're cutting across the center. Bling, 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 like that, okay? Now, the next one, of course, over the shield. Bling, 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 like so. Anyway, you guys get the idea. Hopefully this helps you in your practice. Slay your demons, and I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers, guys.